This is SpaceCoastDaily.com. We're here with Mustangs coach Jeff McLean after an undefeated season for the first time since 1979. Mustangs go 10-0. First off, congrats on the undefeated year. Can you tell us what it means for the Mustang family to have a magical year like that?
I think it's a tribute to the kids and how hard they've worked, and the parents, how they've raised their kids, with great work ethics, like a lot of the kids on Merritt Island. There's been a lot of teams that have been close 9-1 over the years, but they're the first ones to put it together, and I think it's a tribute to their hard work and the buy-in of working hard and training hard and play hard that good things are going to happen, and trying to carry on the pride, tradition, and family, which is Mustang football.
Did you have a feeling coming into this year? I know you could tell this was a special group. Did you have a feeling they could go undefeated, and was that one of your top goals for this squad coming into the year, or was that just something you guys would consider kind of a cherry on top if it were to happen?
I think we knew we had a special group, a talented group. Looking at our schedule, we had a real tough schedule lined up. I think we had a chance to be in every game. Do you think you can go undefeated? That's always a goal, but we knew we had a tough schedule, and I think that the close games we played early on in the season, have helped us later on.
And as we all know, the big game of the week, the story around town is the rematch with Palm Bay. We know there was it was a close game with them here just a few weeks ago. Coming into Friday, you've got another tough test. Anytime you play a team twice, it's always hard because obviously they know your tendencies. Are you kind of glad you had that extra week to prepare with that bye in the first round?
We've talked about it as coaches. You always want to compete. So I think we were playing so well, and you want to keep your schedule and momentum going. But the good part is you get rested and get the little bumps and bruises healed up. So from that aspect, it's good. You still would have rather played to stay in your schedule, but Friday night at 7:30, we'll be ready for Palm Bay.
Right. We all know about your linebacker and your quarterback, Nick Smith at quarterback, and Ty Schwab, one of your best linebackers, Shaq Jones back there in the secondary. But would you say there's any players who just kind of in the middle part of the season or later part of the season have recently stepped up and emerged as reliable playmakers for you that a lot of fans may not have been expecting earlier in the year?
I think one thing that late in the season is we finally, early on in the season, we were playing a lot of musical linemen, offense and defense, because of injuries and things like that. So we've kind of solidified an offense and defensive line. I think both of them, in our last 4 and 5 games, have really rose to the occasion. Guys like Bailey Herring and DJ Richards and Valentuti, on the offensive line, and then Devin Lopez and DeMorat and now Nick Beardall, guys like that have really played well on the defensive line, which has kind of freed it up for our linebackers, which everybody knew about to make a lot of plays.
And then finally, you mentioned that extra time to rest. Were there any players who may not have been able to play had you played last week who are coming back from an injury who will now be healthy going into this game?
No, I think we would have been, everybody would have played last week. Had the guys that maybe would have been hobbled a little bit, but, it's not like we got somebody back this week that wouldn't have played last week. Fortunately, there was, a little bit of sickness and colds going around, so maybe the week off has helped us cure up from that, but, you can't control that.
Right. Well, we wish you luck in the opening round. We know there's going to be a second round. We know there's going to be a lot of fans across the county and across the state with their eyes on this game. 2 traditional powers, and it should be a great one.
I think so. Palm Bay does what they do, and we do what we do, and we know each other. So it's going to come down to, like any tough football game, is who makes the least mistakes and doesn't give up the big play.
All right. Thanks a lot for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks. We're here to talk with 2 members of undefeated teams. Mr. Walt Battle, you were a member of the 1979 undefeated Mustangs team, and your son, Jon-el, he's a member of the 2013 Mustangs team that is going into the playoffs undefeated. Both of you guys have been part of history. Walt, could you tell us a little bit about that 1979 team and the special run that you guys had?
That's 1979 team. We were a team that were committed to taking care of each other. We looked out for each other. We had each other's back. And we never let anyone down, and we never let anyone slack. And that's a lot what I see in this team. They pick up the slackers. and actually don't have really slackers, but they do pick up the guys that are kind of lagging behind a little bit. And when I look at this team, I see a lot of us in them. You know, names are the change, but the attitudes are all the same of what I'm accustomed to seeing from the time when I was playing here.
And you've had a chance to watch Jon-el come all the way through up to his senior year now. Did you get a feeling similar to that feeling you had during your special undefeated year? Did you get a similar feeling watching him accomplish that great feat?
I did get that feeling. You know, earlier in the season, I saw these kids. They had an opportunity. They had a chance to do it. And not only just singling out him, just the whole team itself. I saw potential. I see heart. I see dedication. And that's what it takes to be winners. And these kids, they do possess it. And Jon-el, I mean, he brings in that extra something that we need. And not just saying that as a father's promise, but just as a coach. You know, I really think that this ball club, and we're on our way.
Jon-el, tell us about this Mustang group. We all know about the Merritt Island tradition and pride and history that is involved with this whole program. When you guys started this year, did you have a pretty good feeling that this would be a special year where you could, at least in the regular season, go through undefeated and into the playoffs with all the momentum that you guys have now?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I have to say, I always knew that we had a special team. And when we played our very first game is when we really found out how special we really were.
And when you guys hit that undefeated mark, was there any friendly debates on the ride home about which squad was better?
I try to bring a little bit home every once in a while here and there, saying, you know, I like to try his team.
Right.
But I think we got a fighting chance.
So if there was if you guys could make a video game with the 1979 team and the 2013 team, what do you guys think would happen there?
Hands down. Hands down. We'd beat them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And will we see are there any younger battles working their way up the ranks right now in Merritt Island's program? Any other boys coming through the program right now?
This is the last one.
Okay,
this is the last one.
And just what are your thoughts, Jon-el, going into this Palm Bay game? Obviously, that was one of the classic games of the regular season. Now you have to face them again. What's it like facing another local power like that, an old rival like that, in the playoffs?
Well, this time it'll be more physical and a lot better of a game because now we know what to expect. Now they know what to expect from us. Yeah. So now it's just a beatdown, period.
All right. Did that extra week give you guys even more time to focus on this upcoming game?
I think so. Yeah, it did.
All right, well, we really appreciate you guys taking the time. It's really an incredible story. How many people can say, you know, have a father and son who were both on undefeated teams? It's really a remarkable story, and wish you guys the best of luck the rest of the season.